You mentioned roads, drilling, these are infrastructures that are mentioned, but we don't have a map on your presentation to see exactly where it's located at. I know it's in Lincoln County, it's about 6 miles out of Mesquite, but that's a concern that we sort of see is because it's going to impact our tribe too, with our water rights. And also regarding the notification, we weren't, I just found out yesterday. And so that timely matter for us to, to come up with some kind of strategy to put together what really we want to discuss with BLM and with the city of Mesquite because of a co-op that we can look at potentially with Mesquite and the tribe. This is something, as an entity that we would like to look into because of the impacts that's going to happen to our reservation. We're here for time immemorial, my tribe is. We're only about 20 minutes out of Mesquite, but this is our ancestral land. In 1873, this was part of the reservation at one time. We had 2.2 million acres. So the city of Mesquite was part of our reservation originally when we were first recognized. So that's something I'm not sure if Mesquite, the city of Mesquite is aware of. We're the closest tribe in southern Nevada that has ties to this land. And going back to BLM, is there a possibility, I know in the NEPA you're talking about, it's going to look at EIS, but initially for this preliminary assessment, in the future, can we look at an EIS because of the tribe's concerns, regarding what I stated earlier? Thank you.
Sure, and thank you for the comments. I heard a couple of things in there. If I get them wrong, just let me know. But it sounds like there are some concerns about the potential impacts associated with fracking, and for that reason, the EA isn't adequate to really consider those impacts. I think that was the first concern I heard, and the second had to do with making sure we're engaged in both formal and informal consultation, and keep the tribe involved in our activities. For the first one, why it's not an EIS. So the resource management plan was an EIS that looked at the areas available, and now we're looking at, are we going to offer the areas that were identified in there in response to these nominations? But the EIS part that I think you're talking about would come if someone wanted to come in and actually develop a lease. That's typically where we would get into an EIS, to develop that because there may be potentially significant impacts associated with, groundwater or species or economics or any number of factors. But if we don't have an actual proposed, any plan of development or anything like that, we don't know what a given proponent or company would want to do, there's really nothing for us to analyze at the leasing part. Now, what if you have concerns that once that lease is issued, it might be too late? That's where that deferral process comes in. If the tribe feels strongly that just to offer these facilities has the potential for such major impacts that have not been adequately considered, that would be an opportunity to discuss, hey, let's not lease these areas now, let's defer these areas for those reasons. And that's something that the state director would take into consideration.
Thank you.
Yeah, for the consultation.
I'm Bill Burke from Mesquite. Is it your intention to ensure that there would be almost no probability of any damage to the water supply in the Mesquite area or into Lake Mead? And could you go over some of the steps you will take to ensure that there is no damage to the water supply?
Of course, our intent is that it does not have any impact on the water supply. But I think that, you know, at this stage, it's we don't necessarily know how anything would be developed. So there's really no way to analyze a specific project because there isn't that kind of a project on the table. What we do look at is, you know, when we identified the areas available, did we consider things like groundwater and the potential for impacts and that sort of stuff. And that's where if you look through that and if you look at the EA and feel that those weren't adequately addressed, you know, that's the kind of comment that we go back and take a look at and say, you know, that's a good point. Maybe we didn't do that as thoroughly and we go back and look and see. So and I'm not trying to necessarily give a real nebulous answer, but a lot of these analysis questions really come up when we have a lease out there and we get a project that actually proposed, where we can start having those discussions about how and where and when, numbers of wells, and all those potential effects. And that's typically where we end up getting into, do we need an environmental impact statement to really make sure we're considering those types of things and we're providing that kind of reassurance.
Thank you. Councilman Robson.
Hi there, George Rapson, Mesquite, Nevada. I get you. I'm sorry to say that you're a little bit difficult to hear, so forgive me if I see some people kind of asking for volume to be turned up, which we can't do. So if I understand this process, that until the leases have been sold and a proposal to actually drill is made and the plan is presented to the BLM, that's when you guys commission I believe this goes back to the answer from the gentleman from the Heights. That's when you guys commission an EIS or address the specific concerns with respect to our water. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I mean, I can summarize this fairly clearly. Our concern is our water, pure and simple. We don't want anything to do with anything that has a negative impact on our water and or through chemicals used in the fracking process that can, in the long term, forget the short term, but the long term even, start to compromise our water supply or the quality of the water that we're getting. And that's what I think everybody in this room's concern is. At the end of the day, what do you guys do and what is the process? Because if it's lodging a comment, I'm doing it right now, that we want to be assured that any oil or gas production in that area does not impact any of the water supplies that are downstream from the process itself. So how do we get that assurance? I mean, I think I'm trying to summarize what everybody said, and I can't really get my arms around what the answer was.
Let me take a shot at it. I do want to make sure first, if anyone wants to make comments, they do need to make actual written comments. I mean, the comments that are kind of made in this meeting verbally wouldn't be actual considered comments for kind of our administrative purposes. So, but if you can take, everyone can take a couple minutes and maybe just put what you stated into a comment, whichever way is easiest for you to do that. I just kind of want to make that up front, but I definitely hear that the concern about the water, and I think I'm going to be a little bit candid. There are kind of two ways to go about addressing that concern. The first is to look and say, you know what, based on the resource management plan out there, we think it didn't adequately consider, for example, the aquifers or decided that these areas should be available for oil and gas leasing in the first place. So the first would be a comment that's really geared toward that management plan missed something, and it missed something pretty substantial, and you shouldn't be leasing until that's fixed. That's kind of the first one. The second is if we do offer parcels for lease sale and they do get leased, making sure that all of the resources that are of concern, especially the aquifers and the groundwater, are adequately addressed. And that, again, that would be it would be an environmental analysis. It may or may not be an environmental impact statement. It would really depend on kind of what was proposed. If it was something that actually had a potential for having significant effects, maybe had a large number of wells or a lot of disturbance, for example, or it was in a very delicate area, then those are the kind of reasons that things do get kind of elevated into an EIS and kind of that more closer scrutiny. But those are really the two areas in which the BLM is going to consider how to protect the resources. And the first is, again, we shouldn't be leasing these parcels anyway. Hey, BLM, you missed it. You need to consider this better before you decide whether it's okay to lease them. Or, lease them, but we want to make absolutely positively sure we're part of that discussion if anything comes in the door for actual development, and we want to make sure that it's strictly scrutinized and that we're taking care of what we need to take care of at that time.